Hi, everyone. Again, thank you for joining. My name is Jada Watson. I'm a Supplier Diversity Associate here at NGLCC. Thank you all for joining so promptly. We are going to get started. So welcome to the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce NGLCC Virtual Site Visitor Training. Thank you for volunteering your time to serve as a site visitor for the NGLCC. It is an integral part of our certification process for prospective certified LGBTVE companies, and we rely on volunteers like yourselves to be our site visitors. First, I would like to either reintroduce or introduce you to the Supplier Diversity team at NGLCC. The Supplier Diversity team will be your point of contact for the site visitor program. Please feel free to call or email us at any time if you have any questions. So on the screen, you can see Alicia Green, Manager of Supplier Diversity, Kevin Carpenter, Associate of Supplier Diversity, myself, Jada Watson, Associate of Supplier Diversity, and Maxine Turner, who is also an Associate of Supplier Diversity. As majority of you are currently site visitors, we have geared this training towards transitioning to conducting virtual site visits. We know that this is a change from the status quo. However, we are constantly innovating to meet the needs of our stakeholders during the COVID-19 crisis and possibly going forward. At this time, I ask that everyone please mute your microphones or telephones to reduce background noise until time for questions at the end of the webinar. So today we will go over an overview of the LGBTVE certification process, the purpose and background of the site visit program, scheduling, conducting, and following up on virtual site visits, and the value of being an NGLCC site visitor. As many of you know, the NGLCC is the exclusive third-party national certification body for LGBT-owned companies. Our certification process was modeled on that of our sibling organizations, the Women's Business Enterprise National Council, WBENC, and the National Minority Supplier Development Council, NMSDC. LGBTVE certification is available to for-profit businesses, at least 51% owned, operated, managed, and controlled. Newly certified companies undergo 4 simple steps to certify. First, they complete their online business profile on my.nglcc.org. Second, they upload the requested supporting documents. Third is to host a site visit, which is where you come in. With the last step being the final review of by the National Certification Committee, who ultimately makes the official certification decision. As you can see, that the site visit is one of the final steps in the certification process, which you play a crucial role. We perform these site visits to ensure the integrity of the certification offered by the NGLCC Supplier Diversity Initiative to potential certified LGBTVE businesses. And the information from site visits are forwarded to our National Certification Committee and compared to the information in the application. Hopefully the site visit will confirm what the applicant has already told us. As previously mentioned, we modeled our site visit program after that of the Women's Business Enterprise Council. When they began their certification of women-owned businesses, they found that men were posing their wives as the owner in order to qualify for certification. When they conducted a site visit, they found that these women couldn't answer questions about the business's operations. So like WBENC, we created a site visit program to avoid these situations. Site visits also serve as a great chance for a virtual face-to-face meeting for applicants. When conducting a site visit, you are the face of the NGLCC. The rest of the process consists of filling out paperwork, sending emails, and maybe some phone conversations. So this provides the applicant with their first opportunity to interact on a more personal level during the process. If a site visit is needed in your area, we will reach out to see if you are available, as we did before. If you are, we will send you the business's information and you will reach out to the business owner or point of contact to schedule the visit. This way, you can schedule a date and time that works best for you and the owner. Included with the site visit request email that you can see on the right-hand side is the template email of what the site visit request will look like when you receive it from your supplier diversity contact. You will receive a PDF and an e-fillable copy of the site visit form. We recommend as a best practice that you copy your supplier diversity contacts in your correspondence with the applicant. This way we are constantly in the loop and won't hassle you with questions about how the scheduling process is going. In the event that the site visit needs to be rescheduled, please let us know so that we can keep our notes up to date. If you ever need help scheduling a site visit, as always, feel free to contact us. When coordinating a virtual visit, confirm that the applicant has a webcam or camera available to use prior to the scheduled visit. We ask that you please conduct virtual visits from a private area, since the information discussed and shared during virtual site visits are to be kept strictly confidential, as per the non-disclosure agreement or NDA. When conducting a virtual site visit, we ask that if the applicant is at their business's location, or that the applicant that the site visit is conducted at their home if they do not have an on-site office space. This way, the applicant can provide a virtual tour of their facilities. And for virtual site visits, we ask that they're conducted just the same as an in-person site visit. So that means like including the tour and walkthrough of the business's facilities. When conducting a virtual visit, we request that the business owner walks you through the facility. As mentioned, some of our business owners work from home, may not have much of a facility to tour. This is perfectly fine. Just make sure that you can confirm the business space is appropriate for the function of the business. When touring the facility, ask yourself, is the equipment here relevant to the business's functions? Does the applicant appear to be the owner based on their knowledge of the facility and interactions with employees there? Does the business share the space with another company? And on the screen, you can see specific questions in section A of the site visit form that are used to verify whether the equipment at the business's location is relevant to the business's functions. Conducting the interview is the longer part of the site visit. It can last anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. All of the questions are provided on the site visit form that I will be sending to you after this training. The questions all work together to answer two key questions. Who seems to have majority control and who's in charge of day-to-day operations? Whether you choose to fill out the form during the visit, on paper or on a laptop, just take detailed notes and copy them to the form after the visit. Be sure to find your own style. What works best for you? Make the interview conversational to make the encounter more comfortable for you and the applicant. Do whatever makes the most sense for you. Just make sure that the information on the form is correct and verifiable. On the screen, you can see specific questions that we ask to verify the information provided in the application. So the site visitor form consists of 5 sections that ultimately work together to answer key questions about the overall structure and function of the business. As previously mentioned, section A contains specific questions about relevancy of the equipment at the facility. The questions in section B answer, what is the history of the business and its ownership? The questions in section C answer, what are the business owner's expertise and do they match the company's capabilities? As seen in question 19. The questions in section D answer how operation and control is managed in the company. And lastly, the questions in section E are focused on answering the company's employee procedures for hiring and firing. Note that section D of the site visit form will prompt you to ask for proof of signature authority from the business owner. You should keep a copy of this document and send it to us with the completed site visit form. If the applicant does not have the document on hand during the visit, they can send the document directly to the NGLCC following the site visit. This is a step that is often forgotten, so I just wanted to bring it to your attention now. Accepted items include a copy of a canceled signed check, a copy of a bank signatory card, a copy of a signed contract. Also remember that all the information about site visits and applications are to be kept strictly confidential per the non-disclosure agreement that I'll be sending to you after this training. If at any point you feel uncomfortable during the visit or the business owner is unprepared, we ask that you please leave and end the virtual visit. We value your service as a site visitor and do not want to waste any of your time. Just let us know what the issue was and we will reschedule the site visit for another time. Once the site visit is complete, we ask that you email that completed form to us within 2 days of the site visit. This is important. The site visit is usually the last step of the application process, and we do not want to hold up an applicant's certification because of a late retrieval of the site visit information. After you've submitted a copy of the site visit form and signature of authority, you should shred any extra copies or notes that you may have. Since all the information about site visits and applications are to be kept confidential, all the documents regarding the applicant or their business should be destroyed after confirming receipt from your SDI contact. So some of the business benefits of being a site visitor. Site visitors are open to volunteering affiliate chamber members and leaders, corporate partners, certified LGBTBE companies, and other volunteers interested in furthering our mission. So as a certified LGBTBE, serving as a site visitor is a great way to meet other LGBT business owners, share business information, and develop a new client base. As a chamber leader, it is a one-of-a-kind opportunity to meet current and prospective members of your chamber. For corporate partners, it is also a great opportunity to connect with potential future suppliers. And for those that don't fall squarely within those categories, serving as a site visitor is a great way to learn about interesting local businesses and help them achieve their unique goals through certification. And for all site visitors, if you conduct 10 or more site visits, your ticket will be comped for either our International Business and Leadership Conference in the summer or our national dinner in November. Share your success stories. Recently, a site visitor conducted a site visit with a business owner who works in a related field as a business owner who he had previously met with on a site visit. After conducting the visit, he connected both business owners with each other so that they could potentially work together on a future project. The business owners met for coffee after being connected. And if you are not currently a site visitor, we ask that you submit your assigned NDA before being eligible to receive site visit requests. NDAs are used to make sure that the information received during site visits are to be kept strictly confidential. On the NDA, you can share the geographic region that you'll be available to conduct site visits. This way we can send you site visit requests for applicants near you, and you can build connections with local LGBT business owners. Please provide your most accessible contact information so we can send the site visit request directly to you. And this is the contact information for the SDI team that you can use if you have any questions. However, as always, feel free to contact your supply diversity contact here at the NGLCC with any of your questions as well. I just want to thank you all again for volunteering to serve as an NGLCC site visitor. I will now open it up for any questions that you may have.
Hi, I just have a question. If the applicant does not have a webcam or a camera available, how are we to go about conducting a virtual site visit if they don't have that technology?
That's a really good question. So I guess before
unmuted,
just seeing if they do have a camera, and if they don't, some applicants will go out and get a camera, or we may make some type of adjustment.
Hi, Jada. This is Alicia.
Okay.
Thank you for answering that question. As we do know that there are some people who do not have the computer or the capacity to have a webcam. However, if we need to use the phones for FaceTime, there's Skype, there's different methods of Google that you can view over the phone. If you are, okay with sharing the number, your number, or if the applicant's okay with sharing their number, in which you have to call them to set up a site visit. So I think that there are different avenues for you to use in order to have that face-to-face time. However, if there is some situation where they are unavailable, then please just let us know and we'll do our best to work something out.
Thank you.
Okay, Jada, we have a question. If you have any questions, just write them in the chat, and what we'll do is we'll ask them and answer them if need be. So Robin Hicks asked, given the many states, municipalities are implementing work restrictions currently, what do we need to do to verify employer-employee interactions when many employees may not be considered critical to operations? So Robin, can you get on the microphone and just kind of clarify what you are meaning?
So yes, thanks. You were mentioning during the virtual visit, if there was an opportunity, they could not only show the facilities, but, show that if they have employees, that the employees are working there and that they have that employer-employee relationship. But if folks are working from home because they're not critical, so they can't be in a place of business, how would that occur?
Right, yes, so no. So you're just asking the employer, how they interact, with their employees. So this interview is strictly between the owners and not necessarily with anyone else that is employed at that particular,
Okay,
at that business.
thanks.
You're welcome. All right. Next, we have, if the facility is closed due to COVID-19 here in Massachusetts, for example, all non-essential businesses are closed starting tomorrow. How are we to verify their facility? Yes, so good question. Again, if they are working from home, then you can interview them, from their home office. However, with it not being, I know it's mandatory to stay at home in some states. If it's not mandatory and they're the only person in their office, they'll be able, they won't have to interact with everybody. So they'll be the only person in there. So that shouldn't be a problem. But if they're at home, then, you have to do what you have to do. Thanks, Michael. Are there any other questions?
I see a question from David. Yeah, he asked, will you share these slides with us after the training? Yes, we will share these slides with you all in the email that we're going to be sending to you after this training, with the other documents that were talked about during the training as well, like the site visitor forms, the NDA, this presentation, and and those two different site visitor forms, the PDF and e-fillable forms.
And we are also recording this.
Yes.
Can we use Google search and maps to verify their address of their facility and view the property online? Sure. Yeah, this is the great time to just become, innovative on finding things for yourself if you're not able to actually go to that property. So no, that is a great option. Thank you for sharing that, Michael. And has anyone from NGLCC done a virtual site visit yet? How'd it go? Any best practices to share? So if we do have site visitors on the line, would anybody would like to share your experience doing a virtual site visit if you have done one?
Hi, Alicia, Dave Powell from Desert Business in Palm Springs. I had one that I did because I had met the person, I'd been to the business, but I couldn't get back out there. to actually walk through the business and do it on site. So we kind of did it at a different I was at a different member site, they were at a different member site. So we did it virtually, and it's basically the same as sitting down and going through it all. The only challenge, if I hadn't known the person and hadn't gone through the place before, was to have them give me a tour if they were there. But other than that, doing it virtually, except for seeing the business itself, it's about the same as doing it in person.
Thank you, Dave. Okay, are there any other questions?
Alicia, hi, this is Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Just a quick question. I'm wondering if perhaps some companies that are on the verge of getting their site visit might want to do a video walkthrough on their own that they could present to us, or something that maybe would even be a little more detailed than a walkthrough, some sort of a video presentation that would show their facility or their employees or their door signage or that sort of thing. That might be something that we might look at in lieu of an actual face-to-face back and forth site visit, which means we could really just do a phone interview or something that would be audio only, as long as we had some kind of video presentation that we could enter into the record for that company.
Steve, that is a great suggestion, and that's something that I've actually mentioned to do, which the more information is better. Let me just put it that way. But we don't want to make it mandatory, as we are trying to get these site visits complete so that the applicant's certification is not being held up if they are not able to, give such documents. So again, more information, the better. But it is not mandatory right now. We are just trying to get the site visits completed to get more businesses certified.
Hi, Alicia and Jada, this is Dave again. Question, you went through the process of getting up to the us doing the interview and then going and sending it back to you. Once it gets to you, what is the process from them? What's the timeline? Is it a monthly meeting that the team meets? What is it that happens after that point?
Good question. Jada, do you want to answer it or want me to answer it?
I can answer.
Okay.
I can answer.
Great.
I think it's a great question. So it typically depends, especially now where we are dealing with the COVID-19 outbreak. So we are currently, I guess, if someone is certified pending, the process could take a couple of days for them to get certified. But if their application still has not been reviewed by our certification committee, it could take a month or so, depending on if they sent in all their information and when we have our certification committee.
Right. And it depends on if we requested before, but if we requested after and they are just pending the site visit after they've already gone through the cert committee, we'll need it, we request for it within 2 business days, but we're trying to give the reality of a week. But again, whenever we send applications to the cert committee, majority of our applications are pending site visits. So that's why we are trying to work on, getting these site visits conducted so that it's not holding up applications. Because I want to let you know that, if we send 40 applications to the committee, we'll probably certify maybe 8 out of that 40. The other 32 will be pending a site visit, and that's usually been the holdup on people's certification.
So you're doing more of the confirmation that everything that we say that we give you back is what they initially wrote, and it matches up.
Exactly. Exactly.
And how often is the certification during this? Is the certification then meeting also virtually if needed? I presume that's predominantly NGLCC people on the certification committee?
No. No, and this good question. Our certification committee is a part of other BEs. It also have a couple of corporate partners that are part of our meeting, part of our committee, and some affiliate chamber leaders are part of our committee. And we have other people looking at the applications because we do not want to be biased in saying that this application is good to be certified, because we would like everybody to get certified. But we do have people to come in from across the United States once a month to personally view the applications. But yes, along with our site visits turning into becoming virtual, we are looking at a way to have our CERT committees virtually as well. We have not yet found that solution. We hope to have something by the end of the week or the beginning of next week, because as we stated in this presentation, the files are confidential, and we want to make sure that we have a secured filing system in order to share these documents to our committee members for review.
Okay, and then my last question is, you said there was a small percentage, about, if you said 30 or 40 applications, so it's what, 25, 35% are accepted. Is the reason for them being declined because they don't match, the interview doesn't match the certification, or you're finding that they're not 51% or more LGBT? What's the primary thing so that we can avoid, so we can save that on our end to ease the process?
Oh, okay. Let me clarify. So just because they're not certified during the time of the committee meeting does not mean that they're declined. They are actually certified pending a site visit. So all the information that our committee members have reviewed at the time is up to par, and all the documents that are required have been received and have been viewed. And up to that point, they are qualified for certification. However, if once we receive that site visitor document from one of you, and we're going to read it, and then you send it to the committee member who initially reviewed that application. If you write anything like, I am not sure that this person is really have the majority say in this business, then that is something that we will revisit as a committee, based off of your observation while doing the site visit. But
Okay,
up at that point, the applicant is certified pending a site visit.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Any other questions? Great questions, David, making me think on a Monday.
Just one more quick note, if possible. This is Steve again. Because we missed last month's CERT committee, and the next one is a month from today, we don't know what the status of that's going to be. It would be helpful if we could try to accelerate getting the site visits out of the way before the act hits the CERT committee. So we will be able to maybe approve a higher percentage than what you mentioned.
Exactly, Steve. We do have our CERT committees already scheduled, but Steve, I just want you to know that something might happen sooner if we get something virtually together. But yeah, the more we have completed, the better we are.
That's cool. Just want to cover all the bases.
Nice, thanks. Any other questions? Okay, well, you guys have all of our information on the screen. That if you have any questions, please let us know. Jada, thank you so much for conducting this visitor training, virtual site visitor training. You did an absolute wonderful job. We look forward to speaking to all of you. And for those of you who have not yet signed an NDA or would like more information, again, please email supplierdiversity@nglcc.org. Well, may you all stay healthy and have a wonderful Monday.
Thanks.
Thank you.